Good evening, guys. Do you hear me? Okay, great. So I'm going ahead and sharing the screen. So you guys see the screen? Please confirm. Okay, great. That's fine. So what is the last session number, guys? What was the last session number? Daily you have to track. So what was the last session number? First of all, number I want. Last session was 3, number 3. Right? First was demo, 2 classes we done. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It started on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, right? So last session was 3, and today we are on 4th session. Correct? So before we start this session, guys, let me know how many of you are new joinees for the day. Please raise your hands. New joinees. So this could be your first class. Shubham, are you there, the admin? Please respond. Shubham, are you here in this session, the admin? Okay, so I see around 12 in number who are new. Okay, fine, guys. So this is an advice for all the new joinees. Okay, so we started this session on the Thursday. That was the first class, and that was a demo only. Demo. We did not discuss anything about the subject at all. We did not discuss anything about the subject at all. Got it now? On Friday, that happened your second class. So this is where we started the subject. So we just dealt with understanding of evolution of SDLC. And on Saturday, that was the third class. And we started working with what we done on the other day. So it was like, I guess, waterfall we done. So waterfall advantages and disadvantages. Entire waterfall we handled. So that is what we done. And today is a Monday, so that is our fourth class. So I don't like to take too much of demos so unlike normally other trainers do take demos a lot, but I stick to the demo on 1 or 2 classes, then thereafter going with official class. Now, those who are new joiners, not to be worried. The reason is whatever the classes that you missed 1, 2, and 3, we have the admin here, Shubham, and he will share you the video links, guys. So video links, so of your first class, second class, and third class that you missed. Got it? So I recommend, okay, so I recommend you guys to go through the class. Go through the class, guys, so that you will not miss anything. So after this class is done, so hardly, I guess, you missed only 2 hours class, because demo is you can ignore, nothing great in the demo. Only second and third you need to go through. So only 2 hours class you missed. So I recommend all the new joinees. So listen to this class patiently. Definitely you will understand. And second and third, please go through. The Shubham will share you the video links, guys. Am I clear? And all the doubts, as usual, we'll talk at the end. So listen to the class patiently. And at the end, we'll discuss about the doubts of the class, both from the chat and the voice. So Shubham, go ahead and share the links to me or to the everyone here so that they can have these links. first, second, and third. Okay. Yeah. Shubham is here, guys. We have the admin. And Shubham, also share your number. His number is this, guys. So I'm typing something wrong. SHUBHAM, Shubham. Yeah. So his number is this, telephone number. So if you have any concerns with your class, so you can always talk to him and get your clarifications. Got it? Fine. By the end, you'll get your telephone number of your admin, and also by the end of this class, you'll get your web links, guys. Not to be worried at all. Okay. Now, those are new here. If you're not aware about me, so my name is Vikram Kumar. So I carry almost like more than 8 years experience in IT industry and 6+ into the DevOps, and AWS. And from past 3 years, I'm working on Azure project. So I carry the experience with DevOps, AWS, and also the Azure. So these are my platform skill sets, guys. Good. And I'm working as principal software engineer for DevOps. Okay, good. Now let's move on with our class stuff. Okay. So I recommend always you guys to maintain a running notes so that short points can be noted down. Okay, so let's summarize, guys, what we have done in the last session, then we'll go on to the new one. So last session, let's summarize quickly. You need to tell me, guys. So these are key points. We'll write like a bullet points. So waterfall came up in 1972. It was introduced in 1972. So this was an adopted model. This is not discovered in IT, guys. So this model was already existing in other sectors. So we just adopted it, right? And this became the first foundational SDLC because whatever the waterfall given by the Winston, the person who given this model was Winston. So Winston's model, we adopted it in the IT, and this became our first SDLC. So we understood about what happens in plan. We understood about what happens in design. We understood about what happens in code. We understood about what happens in test. And we understood about what happens in maintenance. So these are the phases, right, that we covered on the other day. And also we done the comparative study with the waterfall along with the phases with an agile along with DevOps parallelly. I showed you some kind of differences over there. So small points you need to always remember. Now, interestingly, this model was super positive from 70s to the 80s. So what happened is by the 1985, so this is what happened. So by the time 1985, so this model became outdated, guys. Outdated. So that is what happened. So it was not able to serve the purpose of IT industry. It became outdated. So a lot of guys started, or a lot of companies started complaining that the approach by the waterfall is not going to work. We need to come up with a new kind of approach. Okay. So thereafter, what happened is a lot of models have come between. So this is what interesting. So a lot of models have evolved between 1985 to roughly 1996. So roughly you can say it as around 10 years. So in this 10 years of time, almost like 3 to 4 models have evolved and all saw the flop stories. Flop. They could not survive. So one interesting point here is all the flop stories or all the flop models, you can say, they have survived the industry only for 4 to 5 years. All the successful models have survived in IT more than 15 years. Example, waterfall, even still we are using today. So it is served greater than 15 years. Agile, even still we are using today. Already it is survived more than 20 years, roughly. You got it? More than, we can take it for granted, even more than 18 years as on today. So this is a rough estimate, guys. All the successful models are very good. They survived at least 15 years. And the DevOps is also expected to serve at least 15 years. So this is a rough estimate. All the models are which are successful survived the market for at least 15 years. Now, I want to ask a question that why do you think this models between the 1985 to 1996 failed? Any guess? So, but again, the interesting point is, so that period is classified as one of the darkest age of IT industry. In 20th, roughly, I mean, we are in 22nd century, no? So in the 22nd century, roughly, you can say that period was very bad time for IT companies, or you can say for IT industry together. So what could be the reason? Those who are from the, okay, those are from, let's say, people who are from economics background. I mean, if your education is from economics background, or if your education is from history, those are aware of very good world history, they can answer this. Any guess answers? Guess answers are also welcome. Why do you think a lot of models could not survive? And interestingly, this was the same period where we saw the very bad time for IT companies or IT industry, darkest. Another darkest time we saw was around 2008. 2008 to 2010. Do you remember, guys? What happened in 2008? How many of you are aware what happened in 2008? Even it went up to 12 also, 2012. Recession. Yeah, this was impact of recession. Okay, so recession was the reason, financial crisis. But what about this one? So the reasons are here. Lot of dynamics are there. So one was your world politics were not good. World politics were not good. Okay, because whatever happens globally also, guys, you need to understand that it will impact a lot of other sectors. Likewise, it impacted IT also. There was no demand for IT, no new projects. So that was one of the reasons. So we had something like Iraq and Iran wars were there, right? Iraq and Iran wars. Your US has invaded Vietnam, right? Russia has invaded Afghanistan, Afghan, right? A lot of dynamics are there. And Western Germany and Eastern Germany, if you're not aware, so West Germany and East Germany were united. Some little went on, West Germany and East Germany. Unification of Germany happened. So all lot of things, and even some kind of Cold War impact. So European states were under turmoil. Europe was under recession. So a lot of things are there, guys. Middle East was also in trouble. So keep in mind whenever something going wrong across the global, so we don't expect that everything is as usual. So something will impact. Even today also, guys, you take it, most of our IT projects are from US market and European market, right? Something goes funny over there, India gets impacted little. So that is the reason. But today we are better situation. Okay, so keep in mind that between this period, a lot of models could not survive. Now, understanding this flop story or the troublesome time, what happened is in 1996, a group was established, and that group was called as Agile Foundations. This is one of the greatest thing that happened in IT. So Agile Foundations group was established in 1996 in US. So their primary agenda, or you can say their primary goal of this group was to come up with some better principles for SDLC, because a lot of models were flopping between that period. They could not survive because principles were not in great picture. Okay, so what happened is a group was formed to relook into all the agile principles and come up with new kind of agenda. So they started working on this objective, and in 1996 they came up with a new kind of an SDLC approach, or you can say a kind of a new kind of an SDLC principles they released. And that principles, we call it as an agile principles, guys. And they have documented these principles, and that document, we call it as agile manifesto. And this agile manifesto or agile principle is definitely an important question, right? So definitely it can go as an important question for all the people who want to show them more than 2 years of experience, guys. And definitely those are working, those who want to claim more than 2 years of experience in DevOps, definitely they will target agile manifesto or agile principles, guys. So keep in mind this, we need to learn now before adventuring on to the agile. So the only agenda of this agile foundations was to come up with a better principle so that it can help as a remedy, or it can help as an advice or a guideline for the SDLCs that the companies are implementing. So they want to come up with kind of like, can say, guidance kind of view. So this is agile manifesto, guys. So let's go on to the internet and find agile manifesto. Yes. So this agile manifesto released in 1996, and there are currently today we have a lot of principles, guys, around 16 or 17 are there. But when it came, when it was released in the way back initially, there were 12 principles were there. So these are those 12 principles, and let's see the each principle and understand. And I repeat once again, these principles are very important. Those who want to go with more than 2 years of experience, and also those who want to grow as a team lead, or those who want to grow as an SME, or let's say subject matter expert in the DevOps. Clear? Or want to grow as a Scrum Master role also. So principles are very important for your experience. Now, first principle, let's validate each one of them. So they said that our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. Now take your opinion, guys. Do you think this principle is good? And important thing is, this principle will stay for next 50 years or 100 years also, because whatever the principles have been developed by agile foundations, we use that in agile. We also use the same principles in the DevOps. We also going to use the same principles in future, or maybe even after 100 years also they make some sense, guys. So that's the reason these principles are important. Okay. Yeah. Now let's take the opinion. So what's your opinion, Varun, Venkata, Kasturi, Srinivas, Priya, Maunika? So you need to take your opinions. So does it make sense? First rule. Let's talk about first principle. Our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. Yeah, definitely it makes sense. Correct. Now let's move on to the next one. See, welcoming the changes even at late in the development. Agile processes has to harness the change for the customer's competitive advantage. So this point is super interesting. The reason is, when it comes to the waterfall, okay, when it comes to the waterfall, so we take the client requirements initially in the beginning, and once the plan is decided or once the stuff is decided, we go and implement. We go ahead and implement. Okay, and this model does not encourage any changes. That means they do not welcome any change thereafter. Are you getting the point what I'm talking? So in initially itself, that they'll take all the client requirements, right? So it is something looks like you pay the amount and not refundable kind of thing, right? So once you pay the amount, they'll tell you that it's not refundable. Got it now? So that is how it looks like. So this what it is like. The point is like once the client requirements are taken and we go ahead and implement, and at any point of time, if there is a change, that means they want to change something in the software or new features they want to implement suddenly overnight. So waterfall does not encourage these kind of activity. They don't encourage. But going ahead with the time, Agile has brought up this principle. Agile says that since we are in the competitive world, at any point of time, our development process should be in such a way that we should encourage the changes at any point of time, because we have to meet the demand of competition. Do you agree, guys? Say somebody developed a similar product like you and you don't want to be look like him. So definitely you have to do some better features in your product so that you gain the upper hand in the market, right? Or some thought process may change overnight and you thought of implementing in a better way. So all these kind of new changes have to be encouraged. And this is a principle has been introduced in the Agile. We also follow this kind of a principle in DevOps also. Okay, so that's the meaning of second one. The next, third point, delivery working software frequently, right from a couple of weeks to a couple of months within a preference to the short time scale. So does it make sense, this point? So in simple words, what they are talking is they want to develop a working software, not calculating in the years like waterfall done. So right from calculating within a span of or development span within a time of weeks to the couple of months. That is what they want. And preferably they want to go ahead with producing the things in a shorter time span. Don't you think it is a valid point? What do you say, Anju, Archana? Do you agree with this, Anil? You want the years to happen, or see in waterfall, they took a lot of years to develop the things. But when it comes to the agile, they said, no, we don't want to go in years. We want to happen this in from weeks to the months. Right? Now today, the things are changed. The same third principle, it is looking better now. So in the DevOps, see, in the waterfall, they focused on years. Things are happening in the years. In agile, the things were happening in the months. In the months, it can go up to an year also. But in the DevOps, they are talking about from days to the months now. See the timeline. They want the things to happen in days and at the max in the months. But in Agile, the things to happen in the months at the max and year. So things are changing. Got it? Good. So that's the third point. And let's focus on the fourth point. So the business people and the developers must work together daily throughout the project. Does it make sense, guys? Fourth point. What do you say? Arpan Patil, what do you say? What's your opinion? So does it make sense, guys, this point? Business people and the developers must work together daily throughout the project. That is true. So when you work together daily along with your team, what happens is the progressiveness on the project will be super clear. So otherwise, once in a while, if you call them, let's say in a month or let's say 2 months, and you're trying to track, so that is not going to happen. So daily basis tracking is a good option. Okay. The next, build projects around motivated individuals and give them the environment here, right? And support the need and trust them to get their job done. Does it make sense? This point also. This is very, very important point, guys. So this is where in a team of 100, some will grow as a leaders. In the team of 100, some will go as a team leads. Some will stick stagnant. They'll stay there only. So this point, fifth point is super interesting. See, let's say if you have 50 members in a project. So do you think everybody will become team leads here? Are you expecting everybody will become team leads? No. So definitely among 50 people, I am guessing to my knowledge, 10 people may be superficial, right? So they'll be more interest you'll find in them. They'll work a lot for the project. They'll take it as at a personal level and or not personal level, you can say they are more oriented towards the project. They'll take something called as responsibility. This you'll hear a lot in when you're working, guys. So you'll find such very energetic or you can say talented people who work on the project, take it seriously, and you'll feel that they'll feel a lot of responsibility and do it. So that is what this point is saying. So such people should be given completely a free hand or freedom so that you can give them the freedom or permission, you can say, so that they can get their job done. So always this matters a lot. So this is something like you are trusting your team. So as a manager, we need to trust your team member and give them the support enough that is required to get the activities of the project done. The next sixth one, see, the most efficient and effective method of conveying the information to and within a development team is to face conversion. Do you agree with this? That is the reason we have everyday calls, right? So in software companies, guys, once you get the job, okay, so every day, don't think that, okay, once in a while they'll call and ask what's happening. No. So on everyday basis, we have a concept called daily scrum, or people also call this as stand-up call, right? So here, the intention of such calls is to convey the information or to know the progress of your project, what activities you are doing, how far it is completed, right? Any challenges or impediments, and also to have a clear picture on the project objectives. And technically, before Corona, you can take it for granted. Most of companies, like since we work from office at that time, so we used to have the face-to-face conversion, sitting in a team or team call, or you can say the conference room, and we used to have the conversations. But since currently we are working on remote, right? So remotely, now these days the calls are happening on your chatting tools, right? But end of the day, the objective is to have conversion every day. That's the point. Conversion every day. The next seventh point, see guys, working software is a primary measure of progress. Do you agree? Do you agree, guys? The simple point. Definitely, we can't produce a software which is not working and we cannot take it for granted. So once you produce a software, so that software should be working. If it is working, then only we measure the progress, correct? So criteria is that if it is working, then only we can say that we made some progress, correct? But behind the scenes or behind the progress, a lot of activities are there that we have to agree. Like an example. So Thomas Alva Edison, guys. Do you remember? Edison. What is the best example of Edison is what? Everybody knows Thomas Alva Edison. First of all, everybody knows Tom. No, you forgot. Why man? Thomas Alva Edison is very famous. So he invented something called bulb, right? Electric bulb, we call it as. So what is the story behind this? So people used to say that he failed 999 times, right? Trials. He failed 999 times, and roughly exactly 1000th time the bulb worked. Whatever bulb he was building, electric bulb, it worked. So apply the same logic. Even in IT companies, also don't think that developers over a night they are producing the things. No, they also put a lot of efforts, right? And this efforts in coding, and some codes will keep on failing. They will not work. At some point, it starts working, and that is what we call it as progress. You got it now? So That is the story, guys. So keep in mind that, don't think that the developers are just write the code and starts working. No. So practically, when you work in IT companies, you'll know it because you are the DevOps. You will work as build engineers with them. So they also put a lot of efforts in coding, and code keeps on failing. They will knock their heads and make sure that they do corrections here and there. Then come back again, some other error comes again. They start working. So end of the day, they have to make the things working. So that is where the success you will see, or we can call it as progress. Good. Now let's move on to this point. Eighth point. Agile processes promote sustainable development. The sponsors, developers, and users should be able to maintain a constant pace indefinitely. What does it mean? So first of all, what is the meaning of this sustainable development here? So agile processes should promote sustainable development. What does it mean? This is very, very important point, guys. So I'll tell you one example. So let's say, imagine they have produced an application called ABC. Imagine they produce an application called ABC, right? In the future, right, they are trying to add new more things to it, to that same application ABC. They want to expand that product. Okay, something like we call it as reusable. Getting the point what I'm talking? So reusable kind of thing. So, or otherwise, you can observe from your personal experience, guys. The people who have been using the Word application, you just compare the Word application. Just see the simple logic. 10 years or 20 years back, or let's put like this, 20 years back, 15 years back, 10 years back, 5 years back, and you compare today. Don't you see the progress upon the product? Don't you see the improvement? That is called sustainable development. Okay. So that should see the sustainable development, the meaning applies is the existing product should work in the future, and it should work for a longer time, and it should meet the challenges also. So that is the meaning of sustainable development. So the product that you developed should not be short enough. It should survive long in the market, and it should be ready to take some enhancement, and it should take some challenges, and we should be in a position to fix them. That's the meaning of sustainability there. Clear? You understood from the example of Word application, guys? So any company which does not focus on the sustainable development of the product, what happens is their product will stay in the market for 5-10 years and they'll close it. That's it. They'll close their shop. Matter is over. Such examples are also there. How many of you are aware of something called there was a Fox Pro? Fox Pro. Fox Pro, one of the king in the market in database, once upon a time, DB applications. Okay. So gone. It's gone now. Not there. Right. So likewise, we have a number of applications in the market, so which could not focus on sustainable development, and they had to close. A day will come where they have to close. That's it. That is what I'm trying to tell you, guys. Even at your personal level, you apply it to your personal life also. Your personal life, if you are not learning or regularly not trying to upgrade your skill, a day will come where you'll become stagnant. Correct? So we also have to apply the sustainable development concept. Regularly, we need to upgrade our skills. Regularly, we need to meet the demand of IT, and accordingly, the packages will improve and will survive. So we can apply at personal level and also at our this SDLC level. So that's an understanding. Now the question comes is, who is a sponsor here? So other words make sense: developers, users, yep. But who is a sponsor here? Any idea who is a sponsor? Tell me guys, what is the meaning of a sponsors? So sponsorer is an entity. First of all, it's an entity. This entity who funds your project and who has the power to take decisions, final decisions. Those are called sponsors. Okay, so tomorrow suddenly the sponsor says, please shut down the project. We have to shut down. That's it. So that is the final authority. So generally, the sponsor is associated with the fund, or you can say the owner of the project. Got it? So generally, we call this as owner of the project. So if you're talking in project management side, we call this as owner of the project. Okay, but generally, sponsor is a person who is funding your project. So if it is let's think, guys, if it is a project within an internal to your company, then your company is the owner, right? And if you got the project from external sources, so you're doing some other project from external sources, then client is a sponsor there. Client becomes a sponsor. Am I clear on this example? Keep in mind, for all internal projects, your company is a sponsor and your company owner is the decision maker. Tomorrow, suddenly, if they say, please shut down, we have to shut down. We can't talk anything because he funds the project, right? So if you got project from external sources, the client becomes the sponsor there because he pays for us. That is the reason. Now, let's move on to the 9th point. So, continuous attention. Okay. Continuous attention to the technical excellence and good design enhances agility. So, in this word, in this 9th, there is a very important word called agility. So, this agility is a principle which was brought up by the agile, and this agility principle which was recommended by the agile, lot of companies have taken light means they ignored. Such companies saw the flop story in their projects, and agility became the core agenda in DevOps now. Very, very important, guys. Agility. So definitely, what is the meaning of an agility can be an interview question who want to go as an team lead for a DevOps role or Scrum Master role for a DevOps role, bigger positions. Correct? They can ask you what is the meaning of an agility. So from your knowledge, tell me, guys, what do you think? What could be the meaning of an agility? Agility was brought up by Agile, and they told us to implement the agility in the project, but a lot of companies took light. But however, in the DevOps, we are made it mandatory. So frankly to say, DevOps is highly implements agility a lot. So it stands on agility. So agility means something kind of, okay, I'll tell you an example so that you should catch the point. Okay. So always sometime examples will help you rather than English sentences. Let's catch with an example. Okay, one example. Okay. So use case number A case. So let's say client came in, right? We decided that we want to do the project. And what happened is we took all the requirements, client requirements, and we started the project. So we started with some plan. We had something in the brain and we started. Okay. We had our clear cut what needs to be done. So we started. Let's imagine this is like a graph. So we started, everything was going positive. At some point, they faced some challenge. Okay. That means they came up with a challenge, some issue. Okay. So they did not. So once they came up with a challenge, still they continued the same plan. At some point, they went into a negative. So this is negative graph and this is positive graph. Okay. So challenge came. They did not change their plan. Still, they followed their rule book. So whatever this is, let's say this is a rule book. Okay. They followed the rule book without making some changes, even after challenges come up. So that's the reason they have landed up in negative sense. Now, the same example B, I would say the same story. Everything was going smooth. At some point, they faced some challenge, right? So they came up with some challenge, and the rule book says that you have to continue. But what happened? They were flexible enough to make some changes, necessary changes. So what they done is, at this point, they rethought everything. Or you can say they looked into the rule book and made necessary changes, or plan of action, whatever they determined. They made some necessary changes so that to overcome the challenge. These changes have been done. Keep in mind, this necessary changes in the plan has been done to overcome this challenge. We are able to overcome, or we are able to fix it. Then we continued, and we are still growing positively in the development. So in these two examples, I would say here agility was not implemented. Okay. And here the agility was implemented. I hope you caught the thought behind this example. So whenever challenges come, you have to always relook into the things and make proper decisions there. And you have to relook into the things in such a way that we have to overcome the challenge. And again, very, very interesting point is, when you're overcoming the challenge, that whatever the fix that you applied, that fix should drive to the objective of your project, guys. If you apply a fix, it should not drag you to the negative. You got it now point? You're trying to apply the fix. I know it. Let's say challenges come, you're trying to apply the fix, right? Or you can say you're trying to modify the things, and whatever you applied, that should drive us to the goal. Okay. If it is driving us to some other place, then we say that we did not implement agility at all. Overcoming the challenge, making necessary changes in a project on regular basis whenever the demand comes in picture, we have to make it. So these challenges would come because of technological changes, guys. These changes or challenges will come because of technology and your demand, client demands, competitions also. For example, just the best example, one more I'll give. So there are some companies, guys, who developed a lot of applications based on Java. Okay, best example. There are some companies who developed a lot of applications based on Java. Today, they are thinking about to move to the Python. This is an example of agility only, right? Some companies, what they do is, let's say they developed the database, they started using some database Oracle. They are thinking about move to the Postgre. Come on. You got it? So this is also a principle of agility only. Have you got it, Priya, what I'm talking? Arif, Ranga, please confirm, guys, have you understood agility? Because wherever I stress, that's definitely can be an interview question for you. Freshers, they may not target you, because all experienced people, they will target. So simple. Another example I'll give. Let's say in your life case, you're traveling. Let's imagine you're everything going smooth. Suddenly you come with some troubles. Okay. You came up with some troubles. And to face those troubles, you changed your, let's say, your plan or plan of action. And that plan of action helped you to overcome that challenge and reach here to the objective. Then we can say that you implemented agile. Okay. Second example, the same, right? So plan of action you followed, some challenges came, you did not react. You're still trying to follow the blind principle of what you decided earlier, or the principle which you thought that, okay, I should do like this only, adamant. Then you're still trying to be adamant. not changing the flexibility of your project or not trying to think about overcoming that challenge, then that means that you're not implementing agility. Got it now? So in overall, the simple English word, they call it as flexible. But if you're talking in IT terminologies, we should not say it's a flexible. Got it, Shravya Reddy? In English word, it's a flexible only. But when you talk in IT terminologies, we have to say it's a challenge. Whenever challenges that get in your software projects, so that challenge will come from demand, technology, and competition. And we are trying to overcome that challenge or trying to make some necessary changes to your thought process, plan of actions. And that fix should drive you to the goal of the project. Then only we can say we are following agility. Got it now? Everybody here? Okay, good. So I got good confirmations. Nice. Yep. So this is very, very important word, guys. So entire agile, your whatever you can say, the agile SDLC believes in agility always. This agility principle became the fundamental in, though it has been fundamental in agile, but what happened is a lot of companies little made ignore on it. They took light. The companies which took it seriously, they have been successful. The companies which took light, they saw some flop stories. So, but in coming to the DevOps, completely agility. Completely we are agile. Okay. Okay. The next. So the art of maximizing the amount. So here some spell mistakes, corrections. So the art of maximizing the amount of work done is essential. Okay, that's a point. The next, the best architectures, requirements, and designs emerge from self-organizing teams. Do you agree with that 11th statement, guys? That is actually a very valid point. That is what is happening today. So once upon a time, I mean to say 30 years ago, so they did not believe in the concept of teamwork. But today, irrespective of IT, forget about IT, even other sectors also. Now they are believing in concept called teamwork, something called self-organizing teamworks. You just give them free hand, and technically those who believe or take responsibility, such teams will definitely make success to the company. Correct? So that is what it is 11th point is saying. So best architects, your requirements and your designs always will emerge from self-organizing teams. Got it now? And 12th principle. At regular intervals, the team should reflect on how to become more effective and tune and adjust its behavior accordingly. Does it make sense, this point? Twelfth point, guys, think. English is super clear there. They are asking you that at regular intervals, you need to audit, or you can say you need to take a review or do the validation, right, about whether we are traveling in a right direction or not. And if any mismatch in the directions of your objective of the project, we have to tune them and adjust them so that we go accordingly. That's the reason in agile process we have something called daily stand-up, sprint retrospectives, right? Sprint planning. These are all for that such reason only. Okay. So I repeat once again, point number 12 is to just do an inspect. We call that as an inspect. Got it now? So we always have to relook. Even you can apply this to your personal life, guys. Always you need to check yourself whether you are doing good or you're traveling in a right direction. Are we doing the enough work for our objective? Always we have to relook. Then only we'll be successful. Good. So these are the 12 points, guys. I want all experienced people, please make sure that we have to mark up these principles, and they can pick up any principle and they can ask you, what is that? They can ask you in simple words, tell me the agile principle. If you tell that I have 5 years experience, then definitely they can ask you, Can you tell me some agile principles? Because in 5 years experience, definitely maybe a few days here and there, technically you will have to face these principles. That's the reason they'll target. So I shared the web link, guys. I want you guys to make sure that take this 12 principles seriously. For example, if you go for 10 interviews, 2 or 3 interviews, they will target this principle. Definitely out of 10, 2 or 3. They'll pick up any principle, they can ask you what is that. So please try to by heart these principles and understand them. Understand makes you to by heart easily and remember for a longer time. So I given you a web link, guys. Please keep that web link and save it to your favorites and try to go through this principles. Okay, so where are we? Yeah, that is what 12 principles. Now, what happened is after this 12 principles were given by this Agile Manifesto or Agile Foundations in 1996. So these principles are valid. A lot of guys, even today they are valid, guys. Even we follow them, right? Now, altogether, Agile Foundations, right from principle stage, they started developing the frameworks now. Frameworks for STLs, frameworks for your software projects. So such frameworks is one of the such frameworks is Agile. We call that as an STLC. Or in simple words, if I talk, in 1996, they came up with simple principles. In 2001, they released a model called Agile. That is what happened. In 2001, they released a model called Agile. And they released one more framework. Did you heard this? You guys heard this? Kanban. This is also another framework. And they recently released one more framework now. That is called SAF, should be written in capital. This is a new release. This is a new framework they released now. So earliest frameworks they released into the market was Agile. And the next most framework they released was Kanban. And recently means I'm not talking about yesterday or day for yesterday. I'm talking about just 2 or 3 years ago. So recently means almost like you can take it for 1 or 2 years. They came up with a new framework called SAFE. So it is believed, I want to tell you one interesting point here. It is believed. It is belief. It's only a belief, guys. Okay, we are not sure what will happen in the future. It's a belief that currently DevOps is ruling the IT industry. Tomorrow, after 15 years, it's going to be the SAFE model. You got the logic, guys? IT industry once upon a time used waterfall. Then they used Agile, right? Popular one. Now currently most of the guys are running behind DevOps. Tomorrow, maybe after 15 years or 10 years from now, the people will run behind a model called SAFE. So first of all, SAFE is ultra super model. The reason is it takes the best out of Agile and it takes best out of DevOps. It's a combination of both principles actually. Got it now? So, however, SAFE is not popular in the market at this point of time, so nothing to worry. SAFE is not yet popular, guys. It's a recently released, not yet popular, but maybe in future it will become super popular. Agile became popular, Kanban also became popular, right? But SAFE is a newer one, so it may become popular maybe after some years. So for your knowledge, I'm just telling you, SAFE is nothing but implementation of both Agile and DevOps. Combination of both. It takes best out of Agile, it takes best out of DevOps and implements both. Okay, so that's it. So tomorrow, I'll stop it here, guys. Tomorrow we'll start understanding Agile And I want you guys to just go through that web link that I gave you, all the agile principles. Please follow that agile principles and go through them. Got it now? Understand them, mug up them. And tomorrow we'll start understanding what is agile, right? What are the phases of it? And what are the what is the strategy that it is following? Okay. And what are the positive things and what are the negative things and what are the concerns here and how the DevOps is able to provide the fix for it. Okay. So that is what. And those who have joined new today, I want to share the syllabus copy if you're not aware. So 1 second, guys. Okay, so this is a syllabus copy. So I'm putting on the screen so that you guys can see the syllabus copy. And I'll share the web link now shortly. So please go through the syllabus copy entirely. What I'm going to teach, it is clearly disclosed and I am responsible for it. So this is a web link. I sent the web link of your syllabus copy. Those who are not aware of syllabus or did not download the syllabus copy, please click on that link and try to download the syllabus copy. And keep a copy with you guys. Always you need to know what you're studying, right? So it looks like a booklet, 16 pages is there. So I'm sorry for it, but that is how the syllabus is designed. Any questions from your side? I am ready to talk. So first of all, I want to take the questions from chat. Then we'll move on to the voice. Every day we'll stop it at 9:45 and 15 minutes is a question. We'll end up at 10 only. Exactly at 10 we'll close the shop because we have to sleep. It's late night. Questions please from the chat first. Those who have questions, push your questions onto my head. Will we complete the syllabus done in 60 days? So see, Atif, I guess your name. So Atif, syllabus will be completed in 60 sessions. Don't count 60 days. The reason is 60 days means we'll count the day because anyway, we don't teach on Sunday. We don't teach on public holidays now. Right? So that is the reason we should sit for 60 sessions. We are, I guess today we are at fourth session. So I'll show you how I work actually so that you guys will know the pattern. So this is a morning batch which they attend. So this is how I designed perfectly. The 9:30, we started on demo on 30. Course start is so and so. So our plan was to close in 31st January 2023, and all the details will be there. I'll put the sessions also, for example. This is their class notes actually. Roughly we done today here. So you can see here, right? See, this is how we put. So we are trading at session number 34. On today's date is so and so. So likewise, we fit this session every day. Got it now, Atif? So likewise, 60 sessions required to complete your syllabus. Okay, the next. Okay, all these stories are related to DevOps. The answer is yes, because yesterday in, I guess maybe yesterday's class or on, I guess Saturday, we were talking about the comparative study, how the things worked in the waterfall, how the things were changed in agile and how the things are changed in DevOps, right? So little historical changes you need to know so that it will completely helps you to settle down and understand the DevOps better. So if you're trying to learn the DevOps directly via tools, then you will never understand why the tools are, first of all, why we have to use the tools here. So, correct. So there is some story, and as promised, guys, Shubham has sent you the web links. Okay. So here are the web links. Those are not a. You can take a screenshot, listen to your first day number 2 and day 3. And if you have any queries, please reach out to the Shubham admin. Okay, I'm getting a question from Arun Kumar. So let's see. Okay, Vikram, I'm new to this class today. Do I need to learn Linux in order to? If yes, will you be? Okay. The answer is yes. Linux knowledge is required, and Linux classes are provided free of cost. And it is taught by Imran. The trainer is Imran. Okay, this Linux class are free of cost only, and they will. I think he will take around 45 days class, 30 to 40, around 45 days of class to my knowledge. So that's free of cost only. You definitely require Linux knowledge. And that is what Linux classes you need to attend parallelly if you're not aware of Linux stuff. Am I clear, Varun? That's free only. 45 days. Okay, so what is this? Jnana, I didn't get your question, man. What is this? Very, very when this plan will be delivered as it is after the course subscription or when the actually we started the class already. So I told you now we are on the session number 4. On day 1 was a demo. No class, nothing, no subject there. First, second, third. Officially, this is the third class we are talking about subject. And admissions will close after 7 days. So after 7 days, admissions will be closed. So already we are on 4th day. Now today on 4th day now. In more 3 days, what happens is still you'll have flexibility to listen to the class. After 3 days from now, the link will change and only the people who have registered will get into the class. All right now. So schedule for Linux classes. Please tell me all the time. Okay, Linux classes will have some time in the morning and some time in the evening also. Morning 2 timings you have. I'm guessing. Shubham, what is the timings, man? Is it around 7 and 9, I guess? And one in the evening. Yeah, in the evening 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. These are timings, guys. So Shubham responded saying that Linux classes will be around currently 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. And sometimes you'll also have class in the morning also. But this is a batch actually. Keep in mind, this is a batch actually. So once the 4 p.m. batch happens over, again it restarts. This is a cyclic process because that's a free class now, cyclic process. So they'll run 45 days of their course. Linux, Imran will teach you Linux for 45 days. Again, 1 week of gap, again new batch starts. Again, once it is done, again 1 week gap, again new batch starts. So you can, it's up to you guys. Based on your flexibility, you can enroll at 4 p.m. or enroll at 6 p.m. Clear? So morning timing seems to be a little rare, but just be aware that we also have in the morning and also in the evening. So for your knowledge, guys, those who see, this is how the DevOps release activities will happen. So team. So see guys, you can see the live. So scheduling and assignments for 4.3.10. So from version. So our software is going into the UAT on 2012 and 2022. So that means 21st means on which data? Wednesday and 22. So this will come to my hand only. My team has to work for all UAT. Okay. So release work will come to us because this release work, they have to do it in the night time in US. That means in India, daytime. So our team has to do it. So they'll tell us the downtime, then that we have to do. Okay. Fine. Who is this, sir? As Linux sessions? No. This is actually we need to attend. So in my sheet it says 10, but it is 45. I need to update. So please correction, guys. In my stuff it says 10, but it's actually 45 days. Okay. So nothing to worry about it. Ruchika's question. So let's see what's her question. Beginner can learn DevOps and in the company's place. Yes, the answer is positive. Yes. The answer is positive. Got it now? So one more question I'm getting, is there any morning class for DevOps? Currently morning class I'm already taking, but one batch will schedule after some time from now, not today, maybe 2 weeks from now in the morning class, morning timing. But if it is urgent for you, we already have other trainers here who are, some new batches will come up in the morning as well. You can check with them, enroll for their class as well. Okay. So so that means tomorrow's date. Fine. Okay. So practical will be entire all the class. See guys, theory will end up in 2 days only. After 2 days entirely it is practical only. No, don't expect any theory class. Only theory class is only in the beginning only. Because you need to understand the history, how it is related. Once the history stuff is over, entirely it is practical only. The subject is purely practical. 80% of the subject is practical only. No theory stuff here thereafter. So entirely we'll do it on live only. We'll set up all the softwares. And good thing for you guys is all the softwares that are required to practice DevOps are free of cost. Free of cost. No need to pay anything. Right? You can download them and install them and practice it well. Okay. So those who want to talk to me, please raise your hands. Mani, please unmute and talk to me.
Hey Vikram, how are you today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. So Vikram, is it recommendable to learn Azure or AWS simultaneously without any knowledge of DevOps?
In AWS, are you planning to learn the administration side or simply the DevOps perspective of Azure or AWS?
I don't have any idea of administrator, like any idea about AWS or Azure. But I just wanted to.
No, what happens is here, when you're learning the Azure, there is a little tricky there. Are you learning the Azure from AWS Azure or is it simply Azure?
It's Microsoft, just simply Azure.
Okay, simple Azure, it's okay. You can learn. No issues.